Hi, I'm Liz and I'm an artist educator here at Maitland Regional Art Gallery, and I'm currently in the exhibition Collecting in Colour, Fashion and Art. This is a vibrant exhibition that celebrates both art and fashion. This show is a collaboration between the Australian Museum of Clothing and Textiles and work selected from the Maitland Regional Art Gallery collection. The Australian Museum of Clothing and Textiles was actually founded here in Maitland, and it holds over 6,000 textile items ranging from the early 1920s to now. This show has been very cleverly curated, with the colours in the textiles and garments resonating with the artworks behind them, and it results in a visual feast of texture, colour and shape. I want to bring focus to this particular work behind me by Maguire called Everything Changes Too. It's a multi-panelled work that pulsates with colour and is rich in detail. The work offers insight into the artist's exploration of traditional commercial printing methods, and he layers separate images one on top of the other in cyan, blue, yellow, magenta and black, and reconnects them as one final image. If you look closely, you can see where the artist has used solvent to remove some of the layers, and you can see the colours underneath. The artist has chosen poppies as his subject matter because of the way that their petals are quite transparent and the light kind of falls through them. After having a close look at this work, you might like to think about or discuss the following questions, taking your time, and just remember there is no right or wrong answers, and use your imagination. If you were in this work, because the poppies are quite large, how do you think it would feel to be wandering around flowers this big? How do you think that they would smell, feel like? Do you think they would be furry or smooth? Do you think that these poppies might be located in a field, a garden, or perhaps a vase on someone's kitchen table? Do you have a favourite flower? And why might it be your favourite flower? Is it the shape, or the colour, or perhaps the smell? And finally, do you like this artwork? And have a think about the reasons why or why not. Today I'm going to be running you through a printing workshop inspired by Tim's work behind me. And we're going to be using real flowers for this. You might like to go for a walk in your neighbourhood or your garden to pick some. These ones that I've chosen are very vibrant, so the more vibrant the better, and you want to look for flowers that have nice broad flat petals. I've just got some geraniums, some nasturtium, some lilies, just really vibrant flowers from around the place. Small flowers work better too. I'll run you through what you're going to need for this workshop. So flowers, some tape, masking tape or painter's tape, some scissors and a spoon and some fabric. So you want to choose a light coloured fabric. I've just got some cotton here, but you could use a tea towel or a canvas bag. You could also just use paper if you like. You can experiment with a range of different textures and surfaces. You want to make sure that you have a nice clear working space to begin with. Have everything you need around you, and let's get started. The first thing that you're going to want to do is differentiate between the front and the back of your piece of fabric. So I'm just going to take a piece of tape and pop it on one side, and this is going to be my front. And then I'm going to start with one of these flowers and pop it anywhere that I like. And grabbing more tape, you want to make sure that you cover the entire back of the flower with tape, so that you can't see any of the flower. The great thing about this particular method of printmaking is that it smells really good. Great. So now that that's all taped down, what I'm going to do is flip it over. And I can see the shadow of the flower underneath. And I'm just going to take my spoon and start to rub. You don't have to rub too hard, but rub the fabric where the flower is. And you can notice that the pigment from the flower, that beautiful rich colour, is starting to transfer onto the fabric. I'm just going to work my way around the whole flower here. Some flowers are going to be more forthcoming with this process than others, depending on the waxiness of your flower. This one is quite easy. All right. So as you can see there, the flower has appeared, and then I'm just going to flip my piece of fabric over and gently remove the tape, and the tape will actually remove the flower with it, so there's no mess. And I'm just going to pop that to the side. You can put it straight into the bin, and you can see there a beautiful print of a flower. And this is where I'm going to start to work out my patterning. So I might choose a different shape or even a petal. So with these nasturtiums, I'm actually going to remove the petals and pop them down individually. This will make it much easier to tape them and hold them in place. So I'm going to pop in a flower there. You can experiment with the orientation of your flowers and your petals, kind of the composition, where you're going to place things. Maybe you want to make sure that your colours are evenly spread across the fabric, or maybe you want to create almost like a rainbow of colour. So I've put 2 petals down there. I'm just going to flip my piece of fabric over again, and then using that spoon, rub back into that fabric. You can start to see the orange come through. Move on to my next one. Perfect. Flip it back over, remove the tape, and there I have prints of 2 nasturtium petals. It's interesting to see too how the colour transfers. So this is quite like a dark orange, and it started out with a vibrant one, and the colour will actually change over time as well. So an interesting thing to look out for. These nice yellow flowers are a really nice shape, and that will transfer nicely. So I'll just position one of those, tape them down, and then work on printing it on the other side. This is a very sunshine yellow flower and shape. There we go. Flip it back over. The big reveal. Perfect. So you can work your way through the flowers that you have, add in more. The process basically just repeats itself. So placing the flower down, taping it, flipping the fabric, rubbing it, flipping it back over, and then removing the flower. Let's see what we can create. So as well as flowers, you might like to pick a few varieties of leaves. This process is really all about experimentation. So try not to get too focused on the outcome and just playing around with what flowers do what leaves do what kind of shapes that they make, and what kind of colours that they create. I'm just going to put these leaves down here just to balance out my image a little bit. Same method, just using the tape, holding it securely in place. And then watching this vibrant green come through. Amazing. Once you have a handle on this printing process and you've kind of found the flowers that you like, you could even put them onto a garment, so use them to dye a shirt or a dress, anything really. But have fun with it, have a play, experiment. When you finish your artwork, when you decide that it's finished, maybe consider what you might title your artwork, perhaps what your artwork smells like. That's always a fun part. And which flower shapes worked the best? Which are your favourite ones? Have fun with it. Thanks for joining me in this workshop, and I'll see you soon.